a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides are a word processor, a spreadsheet and a presentation program respectively, all part of a free web-based software office suite offered by Google within its Google Drive service. The three apps are available as web applications, mobile apps for Android, iOS, Windows, BlackBerry, and desktop applications on Google's ChromeOS. The apps are compatible with Microsoft Office file formats. The suite also includes Google Forms, Google Drawings, Google Sites, Google My Maps, Google Apps Script, and Google Fusion Tables. The suite allows users to create and edit files online while collaborating with other users in real time. Edits are tracked by user with a revision history presenting changes. An editor's position is highlighted with an editor-specific color and cursor. A permissions system regulates what users can do. Updates have introduced features using machine learning, including Explore, offering search results based on the contents of a document, answers based on natural language questions in a spreadsheet, and dynamic design suggestions based on contents of a slideshow, and action items, allowing users to assign tasks to other users. While Google Docs has been criticized for lacking the functionality of Microsoft Office, it has received praise for its simplicity, ease of collaboration, and frequent product updates. History. Google Docs originated from two separate products, Writely and Excel2 Web. Writely was a web-based word processor created by the software company Upstartle and launched in August 2005. It began as an experiment by programmers Sam Schillis, Steve Newman, and Claudia Carpenter, trying out the then-new Ajax technology and the content editable function in browsers. On March 9, 2006, Google announced that it had acquired Upstartle. Excel2 Web was a web-based spreadsheet application developed by 2Web Technologies, which was acquired by Google in 2005 and turned into Google Lab Spreadsheets. It was launched as a test for a limited number of users, on a first-come, first-served basis on June 6, 2006. The limited test was later replaced with a beta version available to all Google account holders. Around the same time as an official announcement press release was issued, in September 2007, Google released a presentation program for Google Docs, which originated from the company's acquisition of Tonic Systems on April 17, 2007. In July 2009, Google dropped the beta testing status from Google Docs. In January 2010, Google Docs started allowing users to upload any file type up to 250 megabytes, with 1 gigabyte of free space and paid storage available for 25 cents per gigabyte per year. This cloud storage feature was eventually reworked when Google Drive was introduced in 2012. Google Drive now serves as the cloud storage service from Google, while Docs, Sheets, and Slides serve as the Office suite inside Google Drive. In March 2010, Google acquired Docverse, an online document collaboration company. Docverse allowed multiple user online collaboration on Microsoft Office-compatible document formats such as Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Improvements based on Docverse were announced and deployed in April 2010. In June 2012, Google acquired QuickOffice, a leader in office productivity solutions, with particular emphasis on QuickOffice's seamless interoperability with popular file formats. In October 2012, Google Documents, Spreadsheets and Presentations were renamed Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides, respectively. At the same time, Chrome apps were released, which provided shortcuts to the services on Chrome's new tab page. Google announced in August 2016 that support for Chrome apps would end on Microsoft Windows, Apple Mac OS, and Linux computers between 2017 and 2018. Platforms. Google Docs, Sheets and Slides are available as web applications supported on Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, and Apple Safari web browsers. Users can access all documents, spreadsheets, and presentations, among other files, collectively through the Google Drive website. In June 2014, Google started rolling out dedicated website homepages for docs, sheets, and slides that contain only files created with each respective service. In 2014, Google launched dedicated mobile apps for docs, sheets and slides for the Android and iOS mobile operating systems. In 2015, the mobile websites for docs, sheets and slides were updated with simpler, more uniform interfaces for each, and while users can read files through the mobile websites, users trying to edit will be redirected towards the dedicated mobile apps, thus preventing editing on the mobile web. Collaboration and revision history. The suite serves as a collaborative tool for cooperative editing of documents, spreadsheets and presentations in real time. Documents can be shared, opened, and edited by multiple users simultaneously, and users are able to see character-by-character changes as other collaborators make edits. Changes are automatically saved to Google's servers, and a revision history is automatically kept so past edits may be viewed and reverted to. An editor's current position is represented with an editor-specific color/cursor, so if another editor happens to be viewing that part of the document, they can see edits as they occur. A sidebar chat functionality allows collaborators to discuss edits. The revision history allows users to see the additions made to a document, with each author distinguished by color. Only adjacent revisions can be compared, and users cannot control how frequently revisions are saved. Files can be exported to a user's local computer in a variety of formats. Files can be tagged and archived for organizational purposes. Explore. Launched in September 2016, Explore enables additional functionality through machine learning. The Explore features in docs follow the launch of a more basic research tool originally introduced in 2012. In December 2016, Google introduced a Quick Citations feature to Google Docs. The Quick Citation tool allows users to insert citations as footnotes with the click of a button on the web through the Explore feature introduced in September. The citation feature also marked the launch of the Explore functionalities in G Suite for education accounts. In June 2017, Google expanded the Explore feature in Google Sheets to automatically build charts and visualize data, and again expanded it in December to feature machine learning capable of automatically creating pivot tables. Suggested edits. In June 2014, Google introduced suggested edits in Google Docs. As part of the commenting access permission, participants can come up with suggestions for edits that the author can accept or reject, in contrast to full editing ability. Action items. In October 2016, Google announced action items to docs, sheets, and slides. If a user writes phrases such as Ryan to follow up on the keynote script, the respective service will intelligently assign that action to Ryan. Google states this will make it easier for other collaborators to see which person is responsible for what task. When a user visits Google Drive, Docs, Sheets or Slides, any files with tasks assigned to them will be highlighted with a badge. Offline. In order to view and edit documents, spreadsheets and presentations offline on a computer, users need to be using the Google Chrome web browser. A Chrome extension, Google Docs Offline, allows users to enable offline support for docs, sheets and slides files on the Google Drive website. The Android and iOS apps natively support offline editing. G Suite. The Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides suite is free to use for individuals, but it is also available as part of the Business Center G Suite service by Google, which is a monthly subscription that enables additional business-focused functionality. Other functionality. A simple find and replace tool is available. Google Docs includes a web clipboard tool that allows users to copy and paste content between Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, and drawings. The web clipboard can also be used for copying and pasting content between different computers. Copied items are stored on Google's servers for up to 30 days. For most copying and pasting. Google Docs also supports keyboard shortcuts. Google offers an extension for the Google Chrome web browser called Office Editing for Docs, Sheets and Slides that enables users to view and edit Microsoft Office documents on Google Chrome via the Docs, Sheets and Slides apps. The extension can be used for opening Office files stored on the computer using Chrome, as well as for opening Office files encountered on the web without having to download them. The extension is installed on ChromeOS by default. Discontinued functionality. Google Cloud Connect was a plugin for Microsoft Office 2003, 2007 and 2010 that could automatically store and synchronize any Word document, PowerPoint presentation, or Excel spreadsheet to Google Docs in Google Docs or Microsoft Office formats. The online copy was automatically updated each time the Microsoft Office document was saved. Microsoft Office documents could be edited offline and synchronized later when online. Google Cloud Connect maintained previous Microsoft Office document versions and allowed multiple users to collaborate by working on the same document at the same time. However, Google Cloud Connect has been discontinued as of April 30, 2013. As, according to Google, Google Drive achieves all of the above tasks, with better results. Google Forms. Google Forms is a tool that allows collecting information from users via a personalized survey or quiz. The information is then collected and automatically connected to a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is populated with the survey and quiz responses. The Forms service has also received updates over the years. New features include, but are not limited to, menu search, shuffle of questions for randomized order, limiting responses to once per person, shorter URLs, custom themes, automatically generating answer suggestions when creating forms, and an upload file option for users answering to share content through. In October 2014, Google introduced add-ons for Google Forms that enable third-party developers to make new tools for more features in surveys. In July 2017, Google updated Forms to add several new features. Intelligent Response Validation is capable of detecting text input in form fields to identify what is written and ask the user to correct the information if wrongly input. Depending on file sharing settings in Google Drive, users can request file uploads from individuals outside their respective company, with the storage cap initially set at 1 GB, which can be changed to 1 TB. A new checkbox grid enables multi-option answers in a table. In settings, users can make changes that affect all new forms, such as always collecting email addresses. With the introduction of G Suite functionality, Google Forms users within a G Suite domain for a business or school now have additional capabilities. Form editors can restrict viewing of a Google form to users within their organization, requiring all respondents to sign in even if not limited to 1 response per account. Email addresses can also be automatically collected when a form is restricted to a specific domain. Users will not have to type their email addresses manually, instead seeing a message reminding them that their email addresses will be collected. This prevents anonymous responses within G Suite domains. Google Drawings. Google Drawings allows users to collaborate creating, sharing, and editing images or drawings. Google Drawings can be used for creating charts, diagrams, designs, flowcharts, etc. It contains a subset of the features in Google Slides, but with different templates. Its features include laying out drawings precisely with alignment guides, snap to grid, auto distribution, and inserting drawings into other Google documents, spreadsheets, or presentations. Reception. In a December 2016 review of the software suite, Edward Mendelsohn of PC Magazine wrote that the suite was visually elegant, with effortless collaboration, but that Docs, Sheets, and Slides were less powerful than desktop-based suites. Comparing Google's Office suite with Microsoft's and Apple's, he stated that Docs exists only in your web browser, meaning that users have more limited feature set than the spacious, high-powered setting of a desktop app. He wrote that offline support required a plug-in, describing it as less convenient than a desktop app. And you have to remember to install it before you need it. Mendelsohn praised the user interface, describing it as elegant, highly usable, with fast performance, and that the revision history alerts you to recent changes and stores fine-grained records of revisions. Regarding the Explore functionality, he credited it for being the niftiest new feature in the suite, and that it surpassed comparable features in Microsoft Office. He described the quality of imports of Office files as impressive fidelity. In summarization, he praised the suite for having the best balance of speed and power, and the best collaboration features, too, while noting that it lacks a few features offered by Microsoft Office 365, but it was also faster to load and save in our testing. In 2011, Paul Soares of the Next Web described Google Docs as a pretty robust set of free tools that are improving every month. In a 2016 review of Google's G Suite business subscription service, Eric Gravstad of PC Magazine stated that Google Docs follows the 80-20 rule, that is, 80% of users will never need more than 20% of the features. 2009 document sharing incident. In early March 2009, a privacy error caused documents to be shared without user consent. Google released a statement specifying that sharing was limited to people with whom you, or a collaborator with sharing rights, had previously shared a document. The issue was fixed by Google, and followed by a statement that less than 0.05% of documents had been affected by the issue. Furthermore, Google said it has extensive safeguards in place to protect all documents, and are confident this was an isolated incident. However, later the same month, security consultant Ade Barker wrote on his blog about security issues with the software suite. Issues included that embedded images in private documents could be viewed publicly on the internet. When users got access to a document that included a diagram, the new user could see any previous version of the diagram, and in some scenarios, users who had access rights removed from a document could still access the document without the owner's knowledge. Google released a statement that it takes the security of our users' information very seriously. But, based on the information we've received, we do not believe there are significant security issues with Google Docs. The statement finished with, "We will share more information as soon as it's available." 2017 phishing incident. In May 2017, a phishing attack impersonating a Google Docs sharing email spread on the internet. The attack sent emails pretending to be someone the target knew, requesting to share a document with them. Once the link in the email was pressed, users were directed to a real Google account permissions page where the phishing software, a third-party app named Google Docs, requested access to the user's Google account. Once granted, the software received access to the user's Gmail messages and address book, and sent new fraudulent document invitations to their contacts. The phishing attack was described by media outlets as massive and widespread, and the Next Web's Napier Lopez wrote that it's very easy to fall for. One of the reasons the attack was so effective was that its email messages passed through spam and security software, and used a real Google address. Within hours, the attack was stopped and fixed by Google, with a spokesperson stating that, "We have taken action to protect users against an email impersonating Google Docs, and have disabled offending accounts. We've removed the fake pages, pushed updates through safe browsing, and our abuse team is working to prevent this kind of spoofing from happening again." On the same day, Google updated Gmail on Android to feature protection from phishing attacks. Media outlets noticed that, while the added protection was announced on the same day as the attack, it may not have prevented this week's attack. However, as that attack involved a malicious and fake Google Docs app that was hosted on Google's own domain. In early May 2017, Ars Technica reported that at least 3 security researchers had raised issues about the threat, one of them in October 2011, and that the attacker, or attackers behind the actual incident, may have copied the technique from a proof of concept posted by one security researcher to GitHub in February. Furthermore, the report noted that Google had been repeatedly warned by researchers about the potential threat, with security researcher Greg Carson telling Ars Technica that, "I don't think Google fully understood how severely this could be abused, but certainly hackers did." Brought to you by WikiVidi documentaries. Would you like to know more?